He carries the most famous name in golf history. He's chasing scores his father shot at the exact same age. And right now, in real junior tournaments happening this year, Charlie Woods is either proving he belongs, or proving that no one, not even Tiger Woods' own son, can outrun a shadow that big. Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll understand something most golf fans have gotten completely wrong about the kid wearing the red shirt on Sundays. Here's what almost nobody is talking about. In the span of about 12 months, Charlie Woods went from being ranked outside the top 600 junior golfers in America, to AJGA champion, to finishing dead last in a 36-man field at one of the most prestigious junior invitationals in the country. Two extremes. Same golfer. Same year. And the gap between those two versions of Charlie Woods is exactly why his father's legacy is suddenly back in the conversation, for reasons that have nothing to do with Tiger's swing and everything to do with what happens when a legend's name shows up on a leaderboard that isn't his. If you're new here, this channel breaks down the real story behind the numbers in golf. No fluff, no invented drama. Just what actually happened and what it means. If that's your kind of content, hit subscribe now, because we're about to go deep on one of the most quietly fascinating storylines in the sport right now, and I promise you it gets more interesting the further and we go. Let's set the table properly. Charlie Woods is 17 years old, a student at the Benjamin School in Palm Beach, Florida. And yes, the son of a 15-time major champion and 82-time PGA Tour winner, a man tied for the most tour wins in history. That's not a burden most teenagers can even comprehend. Most 17-year-olds are worried about a chemistry test. Charlie Woods tees it up knowing that every gallery, every TV camera, every stat comparison is measuring him against the greatest golfer of his generation, arguably of any generation. And here's the thing people forget. Charlie isn't some manufactured prodigy being fast-tracked by hype. His rise has actually been slow, uneven, and this is the important part, real. He wasn't ranked in the top tier of American junior golf for most of his early teenage years. As recently as last year, he was sitting at 606th in the Rolex AJGA rankings. 606th. For context, junior golf in America is absurdly deep. There are thousands of serious competitive junior golfers, and being outside the top 600 means you are, statistically, an unremarkable player in that pool. That's where Charlie Woods started. Not at the top. Nowhere close to it. What changed? In May, at 16 years old, Charlie played in the Team TaylorMade Invitational at Streamsong Resort in Florida, his first AJGA Invitational level event, going up against a field that included 6 of the top 10 ranked junior players in the entire country, including the number 1 ranked junior in America, Miles Russell. Nobody expected much. He opened with a 2 under 70. Then came the moment that turned heads, a second round of 7 under 65, 9 birdies, the best round of the entire tournament that day. He carried that momentum into the final round with another 6 under 66, 8 birdies, and won the tournament outright by 3 full strokes over a field stacked with committed Division I talent. 3-day total, 15 under par. His first AJGA title, and just his 5th AJGA start. That week, cameras caught something else. Charlie made his first hole-in-one in AJGA competition later that year at TPC Sawgrass during the Junior Players Championship. A 177-yard ace on the 3rd hole. The same tournament complex that hosts the Players' Championship on the PGA Tour. If you've followed his career at all, you'll remember he made his very first hole-in-one years earlier playing alongside his dad at the PNC Championship. The video of Tiger's reaction went viral. This one, on his own, in real competition, was arguably the more meaningful one. Now here's where the story gets genuinely interesting, and where a lot of coverage of Charlie Woods misses the real narrative. This is not a story of a kid steadily climbing a ladder. It's a story of extremes. Brilliant highs followed almost immediately by rough, humbling lows. And that pattern is what's actually fueling the legacy conversation, far more than any single tournament result. Let's walk through it, because the whiplash is real. After that Streamsong win, Charlie qualified for his 2nd straight U.S. Junior Amateur, the tournament his father won 3 consecutive times, from 1991 to 1993, and which now literally has its trophy named after Tiger Woods. Try sitting with that for a second. Charlie Woods, as a teenager, is playing for a trophy engraved with his own last name, competing to have his name added beneath his father's. He then went to the Junior PGA Championship in West Lafayette, Indiana, and delivered one of the best stretches of golf in his young career, a 666 in the second round that jumped him 42 spots on the leaderboard in a single day. He entered the final round tied for second place, 9 under for the tournament, genuinely in contention to win a major junior championship. Then the final round happened. A bogey on 14, a double bogey on 15, and he faded to a final finish of tied 9th at 9 under overall. Not a bad finish by any stretch. Top 10 in a national championship is a real result. But it was a stark reminder of how fast things can slip in competitive golf, at any age, under any name. Then came Sage Valley. The Junior Invitational at Sage Valley Golf Club in South Carolina is considered one of the most prestigious events on the entire junior golf calendar, a 36-player field of the best young golfers in the world. Charlie shot 80 in the final round, carding 4 double bogeys in that round alone, and finished the tournament 26 over par. Dead last. 36th out of 36 players. The winner that week, Miles Russell, the same player Charlie had beaten at Streamsong, shot 15 under and won by 3 shots, becoming the first player in the tournament's history to win it back-to-back. Last place, at one of junior golf's premier events, a few months after beating a stacked field to win his first title. That's the real Charlie Woods story. Not steady improvement. Not collapse. A genuine, visible battle between his ceiling and his floor, played out in public, under a spotlight he was born into rather than one he chose. This year, that pattern has continued in real time. At the U.S. Junior Amateur at Saucon Valley in Pennsylvania, his third straight appearance in the championship named after his father, Charlie opened with a rocky start, sitting 6 over through just 5 holes on day 1. He fought back, playing his final 13 holes 1 under to post a 5 over 76, which was actually his personal best opening round at this event by 5 full shots compared to his previous 2 appearances. His second round was a 2 under 70, and he ultimately found himself tied for 63rd place, fighting through a 14 for 2 playoff just to clinch one of the final 2 spots into match play. He made it. Barely. But he made it. Weeks later, at the Junior PGA Championship, he opened with a rough 75 that included a double bogey and 4 bogeys, before responding with a much steadier second round of 70. That's basically been the entire throughline of his last 2 competitive seasons: chaos followed by control, control followed by chaos, over and over, in full public view. Let's step back from the storylines and look at where he actually stands, because the numbers tell a more nuanced story than either the hype or the criticism. As of the most recent Rolex AJGA rankings, Charlie Woods sits at 311th nationally, having climbed dramatically from that 606th ranking just about a year earlier. He's played 9 AJGA events with an average points score of roughly 6.5. He's also currently committed to play college golf at Florida State University, beginning in 2027, meaning he has, at least for now, already made the decision his father skipped, playing 4 years of college golf rather than turning professional straight out of high school, though of course plans like this can and do change. For comparison, and this is important for the legacy conversation everyone wants to have, Tiger Woods, at the same age Charlie is now, had already won 2 of his eventual 3 consecutive U.S. Junior Amateur titles and was already being talked about as the most talented amateur golfer alive. That is an almost impossibly high bar. It's not a fair bar. Almost no one in the history of the sport has ever cleared it, including plenty of players who went on to have very good professional careers. So here's the actual question underneath all of this, the one people are circling without quite landing on directly: what happens to Tiger Woods' legacy, and to how we watch Charlie play, given where Tiger himself is right now? Because this part matters enormously to the story, and it's often left out. Tiger Woods has not played a competitive round of major professional golf since the Open Championship in July of 2024. Since then, His medical history has been genuinely brutal. A ruptured Achilles tendon that wiped out his entire 2025 season, followed by a lumbar disc replacement surgery in October. His 7th back surgery since 2014, and his 2nd in just 13 months. By his own admission at Hero World Challenge, recovery has not been as fast as I'd like it to be. He stated publicly, in past years, that he's had moments of genuinely wondering whether his career might already be over. Late in his recovery, he did return to competitive adjacent action in TGL, the Turback Simulator League he co-founded with Rory McIlroy, playing for Jupiter Links Golf Club, a real signal of progress, and enough to move prediction markets on whether he'll tee it up at the Masters. But a return to full PGA Tour competition, let alone major championship contention, remains genuinely uncertain. So think about the emotional architecture of this moment. The father, who redefined what was possible in golf, is now fighting just to walk back onto a golf course competitively at all. The son is out there, every week, at junior events across the country, carrying the name forward in the one place it can currently still be carried, the golf course itself. That's not manufactured drama. That's just what's actually happening, and it's why every one of Charlie's rounds, good or bad, gets magnified into something bigger than a teenager's Tuesday scorecard deserves to be. Here's where we need to be honest, because a lot of content online isn't. Charlie Woods is not failing. A player who was ranked 606th and is now 311th, who has an AJGA title, a top 10 finish at a national junior championship, and multiple qualifications for the U.S. Junior Amateur, is a genuinely competitive, improving young golfer with a real path to Division I college golf at a strong program. On pure numbers, that's a good junior golfer having a normal junior golfer's career, with normal ups, normal downs, and normal inconsistency, which is completely typical at that age and level. The only reason his rough rounds generate headlines at all is the last name on his golf bag. A last-place finish at Sage Valley would be a forgettable Tuesday for almost any other 17-year-old golfer in America. For Charlie Woods, it becomes a referendum on genetics, on pressure, on legacy. And maybe that's the real story here, not whether Charlie Woods can become Tiger Woods, because virtually nobody could, but whether golf media and golf fans can learn to watch him as his own golfer, with his own trajectory, rather than as a scorecard permanently graded against the best player who ever lived. If you're finding this kind of deep, fact-checked breakdown valuable, this is exactly the type of video this channel is built around, so tap subscribe now and turn on notifications. Because we're covering the US Junior Amateur, Charlie's next AJGA starts, and any update on Tiger's return to competition the moment real news breaks. We're not chasing clickbait rumors here. We're chasing the actual story, with actual sources point to Woods, two very different comebacks, both playing out in public, both being measured against a standard almost nobody could reach. Whatever happens next, one thing is already clear: this isn't a story about a kid falling short of his father. It's a story about what it actually looks like to grow up, compete, and fail and succeed in public, with the entire sport watching every single shot. If this breakdown gave you a clearer, more honest picture of where Charlie Woods actually stands, let me know in the comments. And if you want more grounded, accurate golf storytelling like this instead of the recycled speculation you'll find everywhere else, subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.